ask you a question, okay? When was the last you sat down and read a book? You know, any book. You just sat down and read a book. Just comment down below, okay? And if you read a book, how many pages did you read? Did you read 2-3 pages? Did you read 10 pages? And how long did you read it for? Did you read for 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour? Now, if you're a student and you have to study, obviously you'll read for a lot more. But now imagine if you're not a student. Imagine you don't have to study for any exam. Okay? Imagine that you have to read a book, you know, for your interest or self-development or... I mean, do you actually sit and read a book or you don't? Okay, comment down below, huh? So that I know. And I'll tell you why. I'll share with you what I'm going through. You know, before... I'm talking before the internet days. Before you had a smartphone. I used to... I'm not joking, huh? I used to, when I was to eat food, I used to read a book. Not school books, but I would read some book or another. I remember when I tried to complete my college, which I didn't, to not attend any class. But when I was eating food, I would read bodybuilding magazines. Any and every. In fact, there was a rental library. And I was one of his top customers because I would take 4-5 magazines. Like, you have to take 2 or 3 per week. I would take 4-5 a day and complete it within like 2-3 days. He was like, how are you reading so fast? Because I was reading when I was eating food. I would read when I'm sitting down. I would read when I'm lying down. I would just read. I was obsessed. In fact, my favorite was reading when eating, or eating and reading. And this continued, and that is how I think I used to finish most of my books. Then obviously when I started my journey to become a coach, and obviously I wanted to put book reviews and show the world that, you know, I'm smart. I used to force myself to read a book sometimes 6 to 12 hours a day, reading. It was crazy, man. I would actually go to a coffee shop or maybe a Malbari, shop. That Malbari means Keralite, where they would serve food and sit in one corner, order a tea, and make sure until I finish certain number of pages, I would not leave that place. So I had a target. And those days, there was not much you could do with a smartphone. However, once a smart device came and Facebook was popular, and so I was to read a book and look, and all that. But now today, at the age of 47, 46, I don't know how old I am. 77, January 29. Today, I think I'm 47, maybe 46, maybe whatever. Today, when I want to read a book, there's always some excuse or another. Like when I get up in the morning, I'll think, okay, I'll read a book. But then I think of my iPad and the dominations game. I think of the smartphone and emails, WhatsApp, Facebook, chat, Line, Signal. All these are apps, huh? Then YouTube comments. I mean, it never ends. And Gmail. I mean, it just never ends. And if I were to start looking at all this, I can assure you, time would just fly by before I knew it. Like today, what happened was, today was one of those days where I was not actually feeling complete hyper and all that. So I was going through all the old emails and all that. You'll not believe, after waking up, emails, chats, messages, Facebook, all that, I think 4.5 hours after waking up, 4.5 hours. And I didn't know how time went by. And before I knew it, I was like, bloody hell, man, this is crazy. Now imagine when I was checking through all the emails, I was playing a podcast, listening to it here and there and checking my stuff. I mean, it just never ended. And by the time I realized 4.5 hours, I was like, oh sheesh, I have to start my videos, I have to start my work. It was crazy. Now here's a confession that I'll give you, which will surprise you. Since January of this year, I've hardly been able to sit and read one page. I'm not joking. One page, not even one page, I've read of a book. I've listened to podcasts, I've listened to book reviews, I've watched YouTube videos on self-improvement, but sitting down and reading a book, I just don't do. Now, obviously, you'll say, yeah, that is old-fashioned. Now you have to listen to podcasts, or you're getting the same value by, you're reading a book faster by listening to it. No, there's a certain degree, there's a certain discipline that comes from reading a book. And I'm just unable to do it, man. I don't know, is it... And listen, I'm not going to give an excuse of it's ADHD or, hey, dog. Whatever. Yeah. I can give an excuse and say, oh, it's ADHD, or I can say, oh, it's the internet, or I can say, it's podcasts, it's YouTube, I'm getting the same value. Where it's an element of truth is there. Yes, you're right. That also is possible. But the discipline that comes from sitting and reading a book, the experience that comes, the value that comes from reading a book will never go. I know people will say, nowadays reading a book is a waste of time. You can get the same from a book review summary like Blinkist, or, there are so many YouTube channels. But I'll tell you, reading a book will never get outdated. You must learn to read. But my problem is, today when I want to read a book, it is so challenging. Just imagine from January, I've tried. From January. I know I'm saying I've tried. Just look at me giving excuses. I tried. I know if someone, if it is a matter of life and death, I would take a book. But whenever I want to take a book, some distraction will be there. Either I'm hungry, or the smartphone, or I want to watch a movie, or I want to check the app or the game. Anything and everything will come, but not the book reading. And it really bugs me inside. I'll tell you that. It really drives me nuts, because that shouldn't be the case. At least, see, I'm not accountable to anyone. Nobody's going to ask me, Loy, did you read the book? And nobody gives a damn. I'm a grown-ass man. But I want to have the discipline. And that is where, I tell my wife, make sure the baby sits and reads. Not every time the iPad, and not every time educational stuff. Reading is important. But just saying and me not doing, it's crazy. I don't know, maybe after this video today, I'll sit and read a book, maybe a few pages, but the name of the game is not, trying to complete a book. The name of the game is consistency. And I think, to be honest with you, the challenge is, can I read half a page every day after getting up? I'm still struggling, I'll tell you that much. I'm struggling to find a schedule where either getting up, I'll read a book, first thing I'll finish it off, or before sleeping. I think the only solution I can see is after waking up, first you read a book, then you do everything else. And need not be big, can be half a page. I don't know, man. Anyway, this is one of the struggles I'm facing, which I thought I'd share with you, and I don't know if it is just me or many of you, but I have a gut feeling it's all of us. I miss the days where I could sit and read a book, man. There's still a beauty and there's still a charm to it. And I need to inculcate that habit. Anyway, if you guys know a solution or how to go about, please do comment down below. And let me know what is the secret you follow or what is the strategy. Because for me, I'm just breaking my head trying to figure out how to go about this. Anyway, I have struggles just like you see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, feel free to give me some of your suggestions. Alright? Good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. It's me signing off. Guys, take care.